Good afternoon. My name is Bill Lindsay, and today I wanted to talk about the person that I chose for my midterm project. Who I chose today, his name is Michel de Montaigne, who was a Frenchman and writer during the 15th century. You may be wondering what is so interesting about Michel de Montaigne, and what is really interesting is number one, that he created the style of essays. So he has 107 essays that he wrote. They kind of cover a lot. They cover a lot of things, really, from A to Z. But a lot of things that he was really passionate about were his own life experiences and how to educate children and how important that was. So today, I wanted to show you guys my first visual aid, which is actually a cover of one of his essays. Get that in the picture for just a second. For my second visual aid, I wanted to show you guys a picture of Michel de Montaigne himself. And that was there in the 15th century. Some special things that I learned about Michel de Montaigne that to me was just really interesting was the fact of his about how creative he was with his writing styles. I thought that really he was really ahead of his time for where he was and for where philosophy was at that point. It was another interesting fact is that people actually call him, or he called himself, an accidental philosopher, because he never wanted to say anything to offend anybody, or all he wanted to do was just tell. He just wanted to tell his point of view, which to me I think that's pretty noble, and trying to he doesn't want to act like he knows everything there is to know. He just wants to share his point of view, which I thought was pretty cool for a time that was in such dynamic change and was really trying to revolutionize the arts. So to be honest, one of the reasons why I wanted to choose Michel de Montaigne was simply because of his name. I thought his name was pretty cool, and I figured that it had a little bit of either a French or Italian descent. And those guys usually are pretty cool people, so that's really what drove me to Michel de Montaigne. The first resource that I used was an article called Guide to the Classics, Michel de Montaigne's Essays, and it is written by Matthew Sharp, who is an associate professor in philosophy at Deakin University. If you were to go look at this article, this article is pretty interesting. It doesn't really it talks a little bit about the essays, but it really talks more about what his life was and how he came to the conclusions that he came to. And I believe it was really helpful in this essay, and it really helped me kind of learn the ins and outs of who he was as a person, rather than just kind of looking at a point of view and trying to make an opinion of him. These were the facts, right? This is what happened. And to me, it was really valuable, and I feel like I learned a lot of information off of this first resource. The second source that I used, her name was Virginia Worley, and the title of this assignment, or the title of this work, is called Painting with Impasto, Metaphors, Mirrors, and Regressions in Montaigne's Education of Children. So what I thought was really, really special about this resource was that what I loved was I have such a deep passion for the education of children. And whenever I saw this first resource, I thought that it would be a really good resource for me to use and help educate me on how he felt about, how important it was to educate children in the community, because that's the future of where you live, and that's the future of the civilization, or the generations to come. The last resource I used was by Anne Hartle. The title was Michel de Montaigne, an Accidental Philosopher, and it was published by the Cambridge University Press in 2003. This resource was really useful and probably my favorite. It really gave an accurate depiction of who he was, and it really allowed me to get a look into his style and get a look into his life and how he viewed things and how he talked about things and the subtle ways that he would use words and simplify words. It really was a fantastic time looking at this piece and being able to understand his life and his work better. I really believe that what he did is greatly represented through articles like this. So thank you so much for listening today. I know I went a little bit over the time limit, but this is something that I really enjoyed, so thank you so much.